Hey guys, Chaps here, and it's time for part 2 of our Horde Basics guides. Part 1 discussed the difficulties, classes, and basically everything you need to know about Horde before the match starts. In today's video, I'll be discussing the UI and the basics of earning energy. In the next one, I'll be discussing how to spend energy and a bit of how the waves actually work. And just to be clear up front again, we're still figuring things out ourselves. This video will be very basic and is intended to explain the game's mechanics. We will be making some more detailed advanced guides later, but we're not ready for that just yet. When you load in, the first thing you'll want to do is locate the fabricator. This has a big indicator on your screen, so it's pretty easy to find. We'll discuss the fabricator in more detail later, but for now, just know that you essentially want to bring this to your home base. Walk up to it, follow the prompt to pick it up, and then drag it to the part of the map that you want to defend. Once you drop it, the match begins. We'll come back to that later. What you're seeing on your screen now is a vote to skip option. Between each of the 50 waves is a short intermission. If your team doesn't need this intermission, you can follow the prompt on the screen to skip this. In order to skip, you need a majority vote. Skipping will grant you some bonus points. This doesn't really help you, but it will help your team score. Really, skipping is only for those who are going for leaderboard runs, or people who don't really want to break between waves. Okay, now that we've started up, let's take a look at the UI. Starting in the top right, we have your weapons and ammo. This functions just like any other mode. For those who didn't play Versus in Gears 4, the active system might be confusing, so let's take a look at that. As you know, when you reload, you either let it go naturally, or you can get an active reload to speed it up. Getting a perfect active on the bar will give you an additional boost, which is indicated by your ammo flashing. Unlike previous games, this active boost isn't always available. We now have this new loading bar. Once this is full, you're able to get the active boost. It's kind of annoying, but basically I've just learned to ignore it. Moving around the UI, now to the bottom right, we see the mini-map. This can be toggled so that north is always up top, or so that it spins with you. You can see the little craft singles button, as I like to call it, down next to this. Holding this button will bring up your overhead map. I'll note here that if you just tap the button, it brings up the scoreboard. The next element of the UI that you'll see is this strange looking thing that looks like a D-pad. Those are your perks, and we'll get to those later. Next up is the hexagon in the bottom center. This is your ultimate indicator. When this is full and glowing, you can hit Y to perform your ultimate. These are character specific and can be extremely helpful. We'll be sure to break down each of them in our hero specific guides, but just play around with them and find out what works best for you. The bottom left is pretty self-explanatory, it's just your kill feed. The top left, though, shows a ton of information. It starts by showing the wave number. Under that, you can see how many enemies are left during that wave. This starts as a loading bar type thing, and it slowly decreases, but once it gets down to 5 enemies, it turns into an actual numeric value for you. Next up is score. You don't really need to worry about this unless you're going for leaderboards. All you really need to know at this point is that failing a wave will reset your score. I'll probably do a video at some point focusing solely on score and how to maximize it. Below that, we see a few lines indicating power or energy, depends on what you want to call it. This is basically the currency that is used in Horde mode. You can see how much you are personally carrying. This is what you are personally able to spend on stuff. Below that, you can see how much is in the fabricator. The last part shows the energy on the field. The number on the far right shows the value of the energy on the field, and the parentheses indicate the number of individual energy drops that are left on the field. The last thing I'll bring up about the UI is that you might see these little ammo indicators up on your screen. There's about 2 ammo boxes per map, maybe exactly 2 per map, I'm not really sure, but these spawn at the beginning of each wave, so make sure you go and pick up ammo. Ammo is really important in Horde, so these things are really nice to help you navigate the map. If they're grayed out, that means that the ammo's not there, but if they're glowing bright white, that means they're available for pickup, so go grab it. That basically shows everything you need to know for the UI, so let's jump over and discuss power in a bit more detail. More specifically, we're going to discuss how you earn it. Power is dropped on the map by enemies that are killed. Typically, the harder the enemy, the more power they drop. When the energy is dropped, it's typically in the form of what we call a double stack. It's just the 2 energy signs on top of each other. The energy retains its value and stays like this for 30 seconds. After 30 seconds, it turns into a single stack. Single stacks slowly diminish in value until they eventually disappear. Because of this, you want to collect energy within those first 30 seconds if possible. This requires a delicate balance of risk versus reward, because most of the energy really isn't in a safe place to pick it up right away. Energy is picked up by moving over it. Contrary to Gears 4, no players receive a bonus for picking it up. It's treated equally by everybody. You also no longer get a little bit of energy for the kill or for the assist. A big change now is that power is equally distributed to each person on the team. It is no longer picked up by one person and then channeled through the fabricator. So if I kill a leech, it drops 9 energy. If someone runs over and picks it up, I get that 9 energy, but so does everyone else on the team. Here you can see Jess picking up 9 energy from a leech, and there you go, even though she picked it up, I still get it as well. There's 2 other primary ways in which you can earn energy. These are from the Forge and the Power Taps, which are both new mechanics to Gears 5, so I'm going to hit on those in more detail for the next video. I think that's where I'm going to stop here. Hopefully by this point you understand the UI and what each of the elements represent. In addition, we've covered what energy is and how you earn it. Part 3 of this series will be going up on Friday. There I'm going to discuss how you spend energy and discuss how the waves actually work. As usual, be sure to subscribe and hit that bell to make sure you don't miss out on our latest stuff. If you found this helpful, hit that like button, and don't hesitate to shoot me a message or comment below if you have any questions. Thanks for watching everyone, and I will catch you in the next one.